Hello everyone, it's Helen from Journaling Planet, and I am pleased to present my first ever finished visual diary for autumn 2023. I'm going to dive straight into a flip through just to say that I have kept journals of various kinds for 20 years, but this is the first time I've ever owned the fact that this is a visual diary and really kind of labelled that and really gone all in on the visual work. So it was kind of daunting for me, but I've learned a lot of lessons and I'm really pleased with how it came out. And most importantly, it was fun. Before we get into the flip through, I will just remind you that I do send out free printables, prompts, and creative pep talks through Substack. So if you'd like to subscribe to my free newsletter, you can do that in the box below. Let's get started on this. The cover, I have shown this before on the channel, so I'm just going to quickly say that I collaged some text, I put on some autumn stickers that I found, and I cut this Red Riding Hood out of a book. The lettering is stamped, the numbers, they are cut out from old bingo cards. You can probably hear my dog joining me in the room now. Hi Charlie. Pocket here, and I think I'll do this on all my visual diaries, a pocket in the front to hold various cards and things, and also done the same in the back. Things that people have sent me through the post, lovely cards. This pocket here was kind of introducing the theme of autumn. I've got some images from magazines kind of collaged onto this journaling card. A tag that I made on the channel that has got a very autumnal theme, and a photograph I took on an autumn walk with the dog along the river where I live. So those things are kind of introducing the kind of place, you know, where I'm journaling and the time of year. The background here is just a bit of book page with a duck cut out and gone round with a pencil around the edge to make it pop. I decided to add this postcard just because I thought it was this, when we flip it up, it was a little bit kind of samey, and I'll show you what I mean, because I've got kind of like a few pages where I've got two images and then two bits of text. So I decided no, it's a bit symmetrical. I'll put this over the top, but this is just some very rudimentary drawings of a family that we stayed with, extended family members. We sat by their fireplace and we stroked their dog, and it was a lovely time. This is just a paper bag from a bookshop that I coloured in. I do recommend colouring in paper bags. It's a lot of fun. And I then used the back as a journaling spot to kind of, this is getting too long for the screen, journaled on the back with some kind of fussy cut mushrooms around to explain why autumn is my favourite season. Here I tested some watercolours, actually with the chalk pastels that I was given by my neighbour. As you can see from this, the layouts, they just hop from one thing to another. This is something that I outlined in the video when I did my 5 lessons learned from keeping a visual diary. I do hop from one thing to another. The theme is my life, so I don't need a theme. Okay, I live by a lighthouse, so there's going to be lots of drawings of lighthouses in my visual diaries to come. We had our first ride in the Land Rover. When I say we, I mean me and the dog. This was cut out of a peanut packet. It reminds me of my late husband on his bicycle coming to meet me and the dog on our walks. And a little bit of journaling here. I did show this spread in the last video, but I've added a couple more things to it. So I've added some more flip-ups and some stickers as little surprises as you flip those things up. I didn't add one on this one. And a sticker that I had. I was really just all about using up some autumn stickers that I'd found, and I thought I'm not going to just hoard those, I'm going to use them. This was a spread from when I received my Lana Del Rey vinyl, Candy Necklaces on vinyl. It's one of her songs. I am absolutely in love with her as an artist. She just has, her voice is just what gets me. It's just so beautiful. Again, I've shown this in previously, so I'm just going to do a quick flip through to show that I've layered some paper and journaling spots under these photographs as flip throughs. They're all photographs of my dog or dogs, and then dogs make a life across the bottom in stickers. So quite a lot of different ways of illustrating, you know, photographs, scrap paper, stickers, postcards, food packaging. So I'm just really using anything that I come across in my life or things that I print off in terms of photographs. This is a very rudimentary drawing of my lunch to prove that you can document literally anything. I really enjoyed my lunch, so I was okay with the fact that this is quite a rudimentary drawing, and I cut this biscuit wrapper up and just glued it to the page. So that's not even a drawing. Again, a little bit of a mix here, things that I'm grateful for, some very rudimentary drawings because that's the only kind of drawing that I can do, but I want to draw because it's fun. And these little bird heads here, I thought those stickers matched with this when I drew a mural on a nearby building, and also I liked the kind of typography of this sign, so I copied it. So you don't actually have to even draw, you can just write, you can create lettering. This is my sticker page. I really like this. I'm not sure some similar things will appear in future diaries. I think I've got a separate journal that I'm going to use for stickering all my sort of lovely things, but I wanted to do it in this one because I was really leaning in to my childhood and that kind of creative instinct I had as a child before it was kind of a little bit crushed by people saying, you can't be an artist, you can't be a writer. I mean, it didn't stop me becoming a writer anyway. I went off and became a novelist, but that's besides the point. I didn't really do art for years because of what I was told as a child. So this is me leaning back into my childhood. I'd have loved all of these stickers. This is a complete mishmash, this page, of everything I was sent in the post this month, from stamps to postcards to a little bit of envelope. And this was part of a craft box I got sent, this lovely kind of checkered kind of plaid tissue paper. So I just laid it up here, and I think it works really nicely as a kind of triple flip with the postcards, and just reminds me of what I got in the post. Autumn is a time of surprises because my auntie sent me a card to congratulate me on the release of my latest novel, and I also at the bottom decided, since I found a picture of a badger in a gardening magazine somebody gave me, that I would talk about the fact that I've never met a badger and they're very autumn creatures. So that was the link there. This is the last photograph that was ever taken of me and my husband. You can't really, well, yeah, you can just about see, despite the glare, that we were at the local illuminations, which they have here in the winter. And so I printed it off in 4 different tints and just made a flip through of that. I don't think I'll ever forget that's the last photo that was taken of me and my husband, so I didn't really feel the need to label that. But underneath I did a little chalk drawing of the illuminations, very rudimentary, just basic shapes and a few sparkles, and we visited that with my niece and nephew. So they're really cute. It's just different lights, like a light show that they put on every year, and they had like illuminated giant toadstools and kind of stars and moons. It was very beautiful. So I just wanted to try and sort of remember that. This is actually quite a useful tip for a page layout. This is a craft box that I got. I don't actually buy craft boxes very often, but there is this company called Korakria Crafts, if I can say that name. It's a bit of a tongue twister, and occasionally they have themes that I cannot resist, and this one was dark academia. So all the things on this page, except I think for this sticker, came in this dark academia box, including the wax seal. And I just decided to document the fact that I had been a bit naughty, and, you know, kind of ordered this subscription box. And you know what? No regrets, because it is gorgeous, and all the things that I got in it, this is just a sample of what I got in it. I will use them in future craft projects because it's all beautiful things. I don't know if I've ever mentioned on this channel that I'm a bit witchy. It probably comes across, but I am sort of one of those people who follows the Celtic calendar and celebrates Halloween as Samhain and Christmas as Yule, etc. And my friend came and visited me at Samhain. So she does these colouring in pages that are kind of what I call deeply pagan colouring in pages, which I absolutely love. They have like pentagrams and cats and Egyptian goddesses and all these kinds of things on. But then she doesn't know what to do with the colour pages. And I said, I will take them, please. And so I often glue them into my book. This little card that she gave me when she came to see me at Samhain to thank me for having me. And I also did a little tarot card spread for myself at Samhain. This is all stuff from her gardening magazines, all these pictures in the background. She gives me these gardening magazines, and I just cut all of the kind of flora, fauna, bushes, shrubs, all of that out and use it in my journal. This is bonfire night. So this is kind of a look inside our fireworks box. Not an accurate one, certainly not in terms of colour. I just kind of wrote out what they were called and then just kind of did my own motifs just to remember the names of some of them. And this is my niece and nephew with sparklers. My sister is totally okay with me showing pictures of her kids. So there they are. They're insanely cute. Insanely cute. This is from a book signing I went to. I had to do a book signing in Gisborough, which is a place nearby where I live. And whilst I was there, I picked up this adorable card. A wise woman once said, "Sod it, I'm getting a cockapoo," and she lived happily ever after. And I own a cockapoo. So this is just all about my day in Gisborough and the place, a little flyer the place I bought this card from gives away for free, and the paper bag it came in. So very easily done. This is a drawing of my in-laws living room kind of key components. They have this gorgeous toucan lamp, and I had a toucan sticker sitting in my stash for about 5 years that a pen pal sent me, and I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use that to create the toucan lamp in my in-laws sitting room. They have this gorgeous sunburst clock that was kind of easy for me to draw. They have this giant wooden giraffe because they spent some time in Zambia in the 70s. It was where my mother-in-law fell pregnant with my late husband, and they brought back all these amazing things, including Jomo, this kind of a wooden statue who carries all of my father-in-law's medals from all the marathons he's run, and this gorgeous wooden giraffe that stands. And I just thought, you know what, there's loads of really interesting things in this living room. I'm just going to practice some drawing. And they loved the drawings. And this is also just some rudimentary drawings from my time spent at my in-laws. We had a tree dedication ceremony for my husband, and that was taken at his that was done at his place of work, which was the National Archives in Kew. And so they're a big deal because they keep all the records for the country, sort of the historical documents. And that's where my husband worked, and they did a lovely tree dedication for him. And the surrounding area is kind of really what you imagine old London to look like, with the lampposts, and the river and the bridges and the post boxes and, and all this kind of thing. And there's also some parakeets that randomly fly free around the area. So I just took time to document all the things that reminded me of the place where my husband came from. And it was really not very intimidating to fill each one of these boxes one at a time. So if you're feeling a bit intimidated by the blank page, I definitely recommend carving it up into squares and just fill one at a time. This is a crazy, crazy spread. One of my old writing students had a launch for one of his books. So I went to the launch, but on my way, I passed this place called Art Box that sells like insanely kawaii, cute stickers and pamphlets and zines and all kinds of things. So you can bet, as you can tell from the number of price tags that I've put in here and used them as stickers, I spent a little bit of money in there. I was on holiday and it was right near my birthday. These are all the excuses that I'm throwing at you. And because of how naughty I was, I labelled this trip the Big London Shopping Spree of 2023 because it's so rare for me to spend this much money. But whilst I was there, I went into the London Graphics Centre. I went into this gorgeous stationery shop called Choosing Keeping. I'm not sure if you can see that's their little sticker there. Yeah, probably just can, despite the glare. And these are kind of a little collage of the papers and things that I bought whilst I was in there, and a free catalogue that they gave me as well. Okay, and then it was sort of starting to hinge on my birthday time. I turned 42 recently, but before that happened, I went to the place where my husband's tree was, and I just took some photographs. That's his place of work, and this is the tree that we dedicated to him, and the plaque that stands in front of it. So I wanted to have some photographic memories of this time, and that's me touching the tree, my silhouette touching the tree. There's the plaque, there's the tree, there's me. I just really liked, it was a sunny day, how that silhouette looked. So, and then there's a picture of the plaque. So just have a few memories from that day. Obviously it's not a day I'm ever going to forget, but visually I can forget things. I can forget how things looked at the time, and that's really what I'm documenting there. And these were just some things from the National Archives shop that I picked up whilst I was in there, including this lovely vintage photograph. So that's all that. And there's a pocket in there to put it in. This is an old label for a bottle of dark rum that my friend polished off from my home bar when she came for my birthday, and we sat and watched Planes, Trains and Automobiles because they'd never seen it and I nearly fainted when they told me. So this is just a little reminder that my friend Joy polished off the bottle of dark rum. I must say there wasn't much left in it. For those of you thinking, she polished off a bottle of rum, it was nearly empty. So no judgment. My brother-in-law got me these gorgeous watercolours for my birthday. So, of course, I had to do an immediate swatch of those. And it was a portable set, which I did not ask for, but I really wanted. And for some reason, it was the one thing that I hadn't asked for, and they just knew. This is like a really insane collage of the gift wrap that I got with some mark making around it. It's really, really busy, but I kind of like that. And then this is an idea for a birthday page or a trip page. It was the ABC of my 42nd birthday. So it has all the little things that we did, including the fact that we saw yellow cars 3 in a row on the road to Corbridge. My goodness, I'm sure that I will be so pleased to remember that in 30 years' time. So we're nearly there now, just the last couple of pages to do. As you can see, there's a really weird mix of things in this journal. This is a photograph of me at 42, so I remember what I looked like at 42. This is a little piece of book page with the To Autumn poem by John Keats. When we went to Corbridge, which is a little place nearby me, they were giving away lots of different kind of free magazines. This is what Corbridge looks like. It's very pretty. And I just cut it off and put it on a scrap piece of card and just kind of made a little collage to remind myself of what Corbridge looked like at the time we visited. This and this are things that have come off the purchase of these adorable little pens that I couldn't resist when I was Christmas shopping for my nieces and nephews. It's funny how many times when I'm shopping for gifts for them, I find gifts for me, but they were reduced to £1. They were half price. So I was like, well, you know, it's been a hard day's shopping. £1 each, really, what can you say? So I couldn't leave them, just sitting there. And then this is the only luxury brand that will probably ever appear in any of my journals. Once a year, I allow myself a bottle of Chanel No. 5, and I always keep the packaging, and I always do a little journaling spot about it. So for obvious reasons, it's really, really gorgeous, and it probably is the only luxury item I shall ever, give myself as a gift. My husband used to buy it for me, but now he's not around, so I'm buying it for myself and continuing in that tradition. Funds permitting, of course. I won't be prioritising Chanel No. 5 over, say, the gas bill, but funds permitting, once a year. This paper here, I just think it's gorgeous, is a piece of wrapping paper that my friend gave me on one of my birthday gifts. And I'm not going to pull all these out, but these are all the birthday cards that I got. And I never really know what to do with birthday cards because I want to keep them. They're so beautiful, but they do take up space. So I decided, now what I can do for future is I can put a pocket in the back of my autumn journal, and there they can live and there they can stay. So that's the complete flip through. I hope it's been inspiring. I watch so many flip through videos because every single time I do, I find something that I never thought of doing. So I hope that you found something in here that you thought, interesting, I'm going to try that. As you can see, I did use a lot of tip-ins, i.e. adding flip outs like this and kind of hinging the edge of the page and doing the same on the top with kind of postcards and things. So that's probably been my go-to for this one. I think that there'll be some different techniques used in the winter journal. What do you think of this? I mean, I'm pleased with how it's turned out from a personal level, and the most important thing was that I enjoyed it. But is there any advice you'd give me going forward about my visual diary? I would love to hear it. And you're always so kind with the feedback that I've got no worries about you instructing me. And also, what do you do in your visual diary? Please share. You know, it might be a junk journal, or it might be a kind of slightly more text-based journal with a few illustrations. But I would just like to know, what do you do? How do you journal? And if you share below, other people can benefit from your expertise. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back with another video next fortnight. See you soon.